It's Monday, March 5th, and time for your Barbados Today morning news update. A warm welcome to you. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Opposition leader Mia Motley says the government has some questions to answer. Speaking to party supporters at the Montgomery pasture at Kville last night, Motley referred to media reports Sunday that the stall to Four Seasons Resort project had been sold to construction company Jada for $60 million US. Motley knocked the government for not informing Barbadians sooner, and she said the Frondell-Stewart administration must come clean on the deal.
I want you to know that I will not be the kind of leader who signs and has people sell property belonging to the government and you read about it by the front page, Chris Sinclair. And I want you to know that I will not ever tell the country in a budget speech in Parliament that I signed the agreement a few days ago, but failed to tell them that the conveyance was signed on the 29th of December 2014, and it was registered in March 10th, 2015, a full 15 months and 18 months before you tell us you signed something a few days ago, Chris Sinclair. But I have, you know me, a simple question. Who was paid the money? When was the money paid? Was the $60 million US in the two conveyances ever paid at all? And if it was ever paid at all, when and to whom was it paid? Stay tuned, my friends.
Meantime, Motley is promising to carry governance to the next level if elected to office. She told the political meeting she has a team for the times that will be on a critical mission to deal with the crisis issues facing the country.
We will be the first government that will have to deal with so many mission-critical things, whether it is the foreign reserves, or the debt, or the arrears owed by this government to so many businesses and households, or no buses or no garbage trucks, or the blacklisting of our international business sector, or the treating of people at A&E in accident and emergency, almost like if they don't have feelings, the indiscipline of the young people, and the use of automatic weapons on our streets so that we hear about drive-by shootings. These are the things that the Barbados Labour Party is coming to fix and to remedy in this country. And when we finish with those crisis issues, it must be about transformation. It must be about making this country a better place in which to live. It must be about letting our young people feel that they can aspire to greatness, that they can be Bajans at home, but with a global reach.
In other news, sea bathers and other users are being advised to stay out of the water as the island remains on a small craft warning and high surf advisory. This as a low-pressure system in the North Atlantic continues to affect the northeastern Caribbean, resulting in swells of at least 13 feet. Met officials say large waves and dangerous rip currents are expected mainly along the western, northern and northeast coasts of Barbados, which will create unsafe conditions for small craft operators and other seagoers. The advisory and warning remains in effect until 6 p.m. Wednesday. Barbadians are paying more for gasoline but less for diesel, kerosene and liquefied petroleum gas. Gasoline increased by 15 cents and now costs $3.44 per litre. A litre of diesel decreased by 3 cents and will now retail at $2.60, while kerosene now costs 2 cents less at $1.41 per litre. The 100-pound cylinder of liquefied petroleum gas now sells at $168.69. That's a reduction of $4.64. The price of the 25-pound cylinder decreased by $1.16, retailing at $6.27, while consumers will save $1.03 on the 22-pound cylinder, paying $41.76. The 20-pound cylinder decreased by 93 cents and now costs $37.97. A 52-year-old Barbadian woman with Canadian citizenship is expected to appear in a Bridgetown court later today on several drug charges. Susan Elizabeth McLean of Thomas Gap, President Kennedy Drive, St. Michael, is accused of 2 counts of unlawful possession of cannabis, 2 counts of possession of cannabis with intent to supply, and 2 counts of trafficking cannabis. McLean was intercepted by members of the drug squad at Bankhall, St. Michael last Friday with 26 packages of cannabis concealed in 2 separate bags. A warrant was also executed at her home where an additional 200 grams of cannabis was also discovered. Some cricket news now. Captain Stephanie Taylor missed out on a 6th one-day international 100 as West Indies women went down by a single run to New Zealand women in the opening one-day international on Sunday. Chasing 279, West Indies ended on 277 for 9 of their 50 overs, with Taylor carving out a top score of 90 off 93 balls. The Caribbean side required 11 runs from the last over, with Kaishona Knight and tail-ender Tremaine Smart at the crease, but only managed to muster 9 after losing Smart and failing to get the 4 runs required for victory of the final delivery. Kaishona Knight chipped in with a busy 44 of 31 deliveries, while twin sister Kaisia struck a patient 38 at the top order, and Shadeen Nation got 29.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
We pick up with news from our regional neighbors. In Bermuda, a proposed sugar tax is not sitting well with a former premier. Craig Connonier says while diabetes and obesity are real concerns on the island, taxation of this type will only hurt small businesses. He believes the proposed tax is ill thought out by the government, as behavior cannot be legislated.
One of the most addictive substances probably is sugar. I know that out in my industry, where the position that I'm in with my job, that tobacco has always been increased every year. That's sin tax, but it doesn't stop people from smoking. And I think that it's, we're getting into that range where you can't legislate behavior. People need to make good decisions about their health. And so I think a more effective way of approaching it would be to show the issues with sugar and what it does in diabetes and the amputations and these like. People need to see the horrors of it so that it will get their attention to say, hey, hold on a second, what am I doing? Simply increasing the cost of sugar, I believe, is going to be detrimental to the businesses that are out there. Who owns all of the bakeries out there? It's the black man and the Portuguese man. They're the ones who are hiring Bermudians once again, and we're going to put a tax out there, quite frankly, in my opinion, it's going to put them out of business.
And finally, on the international front, the alleged victims of one of the Vatican's most powerful figures, who is accused of numerous sexual assault offenses, are to be questioned in court for the first time. We get more in this CNN report.
Flanked by police, Cardinal George Pell walks slowly into Melbourne Magistrates Court, followed by his legal team. His head bowed, his face expressionless. Charged with historical sexual assault offences by multiple complainants, the 76-year-old was not required to appear for this preliminary hearing. However, with the world watching, he turned up to face court. Last month, after Australian police announced the charges, he made a public statement from the Vatican saying he had endured a relentless character assassination and that he is innocent.
I'm looking forward, finally, to having my day in court. I'm innocent of these charges. They are false. The whole idea of sexual abuse is abhorrent to me.
The charges are the result of investigation by a special police task force set up to investigate complaints of widespread sexual abuse in the Catholic Church and other religious institutions.
That's news. Remember, there is more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals and screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also tune in to Mix 96.9 FM for more news. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good morning.